everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video. Today we are building in Evergreen Harbour, which is the world that came with the Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle expansion pack, and we're building a container house. So we are very excited for this today. These are some of my all-time favourite types of houses to build in the Sims 4. I think they're very structurally interesting, and I think you can go a little bit quirky with the interior of it as well. We haven't gone too quirky with the interior of this build. This is catered more towards a family sort of friendly build. So it has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and again downstairs an open plan kitchen living space. So yeah, we're just working on the exterior of the build here. I struggled a little bit with the colour palette on the outside, and then I realised that those walls or fences, whatever you want to call them, the glass ones, are the ones that light up in the dark, and I thought that's not the vibe that I was going for here, so I very quickly changed that. And it's quite unusual because I normally wouldn't do this style of build with glass fencing because I think it's too conflicting styles. However, I think it works quite well. I don't often put on roofs as such on these type of builds, but we did that here as well. So I think it looks very, very interesting. And at this point here, I wasn't loving the build and I was tempted to just demolish and start again. And this was actually the 4th house that I attempted to build yesterday. So I built this yesterday and I tried 4 other builds before this and I demolished each and every one, and I almost stepped away and thought I don't even want to try and build today because clearly it's not working. And then I found an image on Pinterest which caught my eye, so I thought let's try and replicate this and see how we get on. So here's me just changing the colour palette on the outside, and eventually I grew to love this build, so we stuck with it and here we are. This is pretty much the final sort of vibe, and I quickly went in game and changed, and this is going to sound crazy, I changed the exterior lighting. So I changed the time of day because that can often make or break a build for me. I have to work in the right lighting for it to, so I know where the shadowing effects are and I know what angles are going to look good in the screenshots, and I know it sounds crazy and I don't know if anyone else does that as well, but that's just something that I do. And then also the lighting that's currently here, the interior shots looked absolutely amazing, particularly in the kitchen, which you will see in a moment. And the kitchen is one of my, well, it's my favourite room of the house. It turned out so nicely. It had this sort of homey, family-friendly vibe, but it was still very clean, and I don't want to say chic, even though I actually called this house on the gallery page Chic Container. I don't think it's necessarily a chic style. I just liked the name. So it's called Chic Container if you want to find it on the gallery, but I wouldn't say it's chic. I just thought it was a cute name. So let's just bypass that. And then I quickly realised here while I was building, where am I going to put the fridge? So there we go. So I finally realised, oh yeah, we might need a fridge here. So again, it's just me, you know, playing around with placements of things, and it's, yeah, I wanted this build to be probably exactly how it turned out. So I am very pleased with this build, considering I almost gave up building yesterday. I'm so glad I didn't, and I'm so glad I stuck with it, because otherwise I wouldn't have created this for you guys. And a few people have requested that I record a speed build of a container home, and they, as I said at the start of the video, they are one of my favourite types of houses to build. So I was more than happy to do this for you guys. And if you do download this build, then please let me know. Send me some screenshots, because I'd love to see this house in your game as well. So adding some finishing touches to the kitchen here. We don't go, I mean, you might disagree, but I didn't go too over the top with clutter with this one. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking it's not over the top, but it's definitely still a little bit cluttery, you know. But if it wasn't, then it wouldn't be one of my builds. So it's just my kind of style. So, and then I'm trying to find things to put on the wall, and then I realise that the windows actually take up quite a lot of space, so I didn't have to worry too much about what to put on the walls, which was actually quite a relief for me, really, because I think sometimes I overdo it with the clutter and just everything like that. So I'm glad that we stayed away from that a little bit. And the living room, again, it does not have a TV. I don't think there is one TV in this house, if I remember correctly. So if you do want a TV, then you could maybe pop one in here instead of the fireplace. You could maybe put the one, if you have the Tiny Living stuff pack, you could maybe put one there. But I just thought, in a container home, in real life, I'm not saying people who live in container homes don't have televisions. I'm not saying that at all. Obviously, some of them do. But I think that's like a last sort of thought, is the TV maybe. And I personally preferred how the fireplace looked. So if you do want to change that, then obviously it's quite a simple fix. Or if you're not too bothered about the lack of TV, then you can just leave it as is. So the living room turned out quite nicely. I don't like it as much as the kitchen, but I never do. I think my last speed build, the suburban home, is the first time that I preferred the living room over the kitchen, because usually I put all my effort into the kitchen, and then by the time I get to the living room, it's not an afterthought, but it's not a room that I can get excited about. And I don't know why. It's one of those things, personal preference, I guess. I think you can do a lot more with the kitchen, and other people might have different opinions, but that's just my opinion on this one, is that you can do a lot more with kitchens, and they're a lot more visually interesting. So I'm not going to keep rambling on about that, but yeah, that's my thought process. And it took me so long to try and find a nice rug to go in this room. I don't know why I had so much trouble with that, but I mean, I have trouble with so many different things in so many different builds. So that was me there attempting to figure out the floor plan for the first and second floor, because obviously container homes are primarily made of shipping container parts. Then they're quite long and they're quite slim, so the first and second floors are actually a little bit narrower than the ground floor. So I was trying to think, well, I need to fit at least one bathroom, and I wanted to have 2 bedrooms because we have the space to do it. So I quickly went outside and thought, I'm going to have a think about this first, and I'll sort of add some bits and bats to the outside of the build first, which is unusual because I usually leave this till the end, but it's because I was trying to figure out in my head where I wanted everything to go. So obviously we've added the solar panels. There's a windmill on top as well. I think that yellow item on the first floor balcony is some sort of machine that collects rainwater. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't really played Eco Lifestyle all that much, obviously because I'm primarily a builder, but I believe that that's what that item does. But please correct me if I am wrong. And on the balcony here, this is off the master bedroom. I wanted to have a nice seating area, and I didn't go too over the top with anything. It's just 2 sun chairs and a table. And here I thought it would be quite nice to have a dining space as well, so Sims can go outside and eat, and we do add a barbecue as well. So I thought that was quite a nice touch. This house does have a back garden, but I did not record the building of it because it's not, again, it's not much to write home about. But what else is new with my builds? It's basically a fenced off area, and there is a swing set and a sort of patioed area with a seating sort of area. Could I say area any more times? Seating area. And I think there's a barbecue out there as well, and then there's an umbrellaed table. What on earth am I talking about? A table with an umbrella, an outside table with an umbrella. Wow, I need to go back to bed. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and clearly I have not had enough sleep. Speaking of, what have you got planned for the day? It's obviously Sunday, so I don't think we've got much planned. I think me and the husband are going to have a nice chill day, maybe do a bit of cleaning. We're going to go out in the garden and get some gardening done before the weather turns, because I think the weather is due to turn in the UK anyway. The weather is due to turn middle of next week, I think we're going to start getting the cold weather and the rain, and I'm so excited for it, but I know some people aren't, so yeah, I'm very happy about that. But the bathrooms in this house are very generously sized, but that is because of the window placement, I would say, more than anything else. And also, I think it's sometimes it's nice to have larger bathrooms as well in builds like this, because obviously the master bedroom doesn't need to be any bigger than it is there. So I'm quite happy that I decided to go for a slightly larger bathroom. And then up on the top floor, which you will see now, we work on the children's room, which turned out to be really sweet, actually. It's a twin children's room. Hey, look, you know, my last speed build I did a single bedroom, so I'm back to doing what I love most now, and that is obviously doing twin children's rooms. And we play around with, I think we end up playing around with greens, pinks, blues, and just a little bit of everything, really. So it ends up being a really nice bedroom. So yeah, if your Sims families do have two children, I think they're going to enjoy spending their time up here. We do put a desk with a laptop on it as well. There's a bookshelf that goes in, and obviously the kids up here as well have their own sort of balcony area. And I'm really upset that I didn't put the dollhouse that came with this pack outside. I don't know why I didn't, and I've just thought about that now. I'm really upset that I didn't do that. I'm sorry. If you want to pop it out there, just put it out there, but I'm really upset about that. Anyway, instead of that, there is some, you know, they can go out and plant some flowers. You know, kids love doing that, right? So if you would like to download this build, it's available to download from the gallery. My origin ID is RachelPedd. The tray files are available to download from the description below from Sim File Share. But if you do download this build, please feel free to tweet me at RachelPedd. I'd love to see this build in your games. Send me some screenshots. But thank you so much for joining me here today. Screenshots are at the end of the build if you would like to see what this looks like in game. Thank you so much again, and I will see you next time. Bye!